Hello, and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Regan Gallo in for Laura today. Well, we are starting to talk about weather. It is finally warming up, and I was outside earlier today and we had so much fun. More sunshine is on the way, I'm hoping. Thomas Patrick joins us outside. What is the weather looking like?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Regan, you and I were out at Avista Stadium earlier today, and before sunrise, boy, was it cold outside. There was frost out there on the ground and on the grass, and the moment the sun came up, it felt so much better, and that does carry over now into the noon hour. We are at 49 degrees. Feels quite a bit better than it did from the sub-freezing temperatures from this morning. I do mean that quite literally. Here were the low temperatures today. 31 is what we woke up to basically right at sunrise, and a handful of 20s, especially for North Idaho, including then Deer Park and Republic, all the way down to 25 there. So a chilly start to the day, but the clear skies had something to say about that. And like two sides of the same coin, it can get clear and cold at night, but sunny and then warmer during the day. Highs should be well into the 50s this afternoon. The start of the warm up, but definitely not the finish of it. I think this weekend is going to be incredibly warm. Our upcoming outlook kind of more tuned to the mid of next week when the really intense warmth starts to move over the Intermountain West here. But we are still expecting some above average temperatures for quite some time, and it really does start for today. So coming up, we entails for us, plus what to expect for, well, the Spokane Indians home opening weekend. All of that is coming up in your full forecast.
Thanks, Thomas. Well, Wall Street opened sharply lower again as China announced new retaliatory measures in response to President Trump's latest tariffs. This is a live look at the Dow right now, where we are down about 5%. Natalie Brand has the latest reaction from the White House.
China announced Friday it will hit the U.S. with a 34% across-the-board tariff on U.S. goods next week, as the Trump administration's new reciprocal tariffs are set to take effect.
We need to get back to a time where we're a country that can make things, and to do that, we have to reset the global order of trade.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio, traveling for NATO meetings, dismissed the stock market slumping.
Ultimately, the markets, as long as they know what the rules are going to be moving forward, and as long as that's set and you can sustain where you're going to be, the markets will adjust.
Among Americans worried, farmer John Boyd Jr.
Other countries are going to start to look for different places to start to buy soybeans and corn and wheat. Brazil is right behind us in production.
President Trump signaled he's open to making trade deals.
Tariffs give us great power to negotiate.
As the White House tries to downplay the fallout, top Democratic lawmakers are also questioning the administration's move to fire the head of the National Security Agency and U.S. Cyber Command.
The protection of our own source and method.
CBS News has learned General Timothy Haas, seen here testifying on Capitol Hill, was ousted Thursday. His firing follows President Trump's Oval Office meeting with controversial right-wing personality Laura Loomer. She posted on social media this morning that President Trump needs an NSA director he trusts. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Well, here at KREM 2, we like to bring you more to every story when we want to get more insight on how tariffs may impact you and your wallet. Our very own KREM 2 Connor McAvoy sat down with a Gonzaga economics professor who says while businesses will take the hit, it's the consumers he's worried about.
These are going to have an effect on consumers, and be pretty significant in the size.
Ryan Herzog's been an associate professor of economics at Gonzaga University since 2009. He says he's worried about the impact of the newly announced tariffs on consumers and the U.S.'s relationship with other countries.
These relationships, these friendships that we built, right, are slowly going to be deteriorating.
That includes the relationships with Canada and China, two of the nation's and the state of Washington's largest trading partners. On Friday, President Trump's imposed what's now a 54% tariff on goods from China. He's also issued a 25% tariff on Canadian goods. But recently, even more tariffs are in play, including a 49% tariff on Cambodia, 48% on Laos, and 47% on Madagascar. That means increased prices on clothes, food, new cars, and car parts, as well as electronics. Those are set to start later this month.
We're getting tariffs that are pretty across the board, all over the place.
President Trump says the tariffs aim to revive U.S. manufacturing, but Herzog cautions that's complicated.
We don't have a lot of these resources. One of the things we talk about is a comparative advantage. Sometimes it's just cheaper for countries to produce a product than it is in the United States.
Herzog says the rate of these price hikes will only force people to either pay those higher prices or double down on cheaper options. And he says the number of people doing the latter is concerning.
Okay, I'm going to try to get a little bit more out of my phone. I'm going to try to buy more secondhand clothes. I'm going to get my cars repaired. All of those things are going to now be more expensive because other people are going to be doing the same stuff.
While Herzog says the tariffs and their impact appear extreme, there's an element of waiting to see what will take hold and for how long.
But I do think you're still waiting to find out if these tariffs are going to be in place 6 months, a year, 2 years down the road. And it's hard to plan if you don't know that. I mean, we've done these interviews before.
We're also learning more about how the impact is hitting car dealerships in Spokane. Wendell Ford released a statement saying the 25% tariff is now applied to any new cars coming into the U.S. They estimate the price of a $30,000 car could go up by roughly $7,000. Wendell says their cars already in the United States won't be affected.